Good evening, and thank you very much for coming to hear about New Tech. And I know it's a small group, but I do want to share with you just a quick PowerPoint, which is very un-New Tech, because typically PowerPoint presentations, sort of a sit and get, is not how we do things. But I do want to share just a little bit of information about who we are. So we're a STEM certified school by the Indiana Department of Education, so science, technology, engineering, and math. And then in April, we were recognized as one of 18 Partnership for 21st Century Learning exemplars from around the country. So that's just a testament to the work that our teachers do, and also, honestly, that our students do as well. And so we started in 2010. We're a fairly young school, and we're an innovative model high school here in the EVSC. We're part of the New Tech Network. So there are over 180 schools throughout the country that are all New Techs. And we're one of those, and probably about 30 in Indiana alone, but even some in Australia. Come on in. No, that's fine. Come on in China and all across the United States. And then when the New Tech Network had the demonstration site model in place, we were a demonstration site and exemplary school for 3 years. And so we had people from different regions of America come and just see what we had to do, kind of what we do and how we do the New Tech thing. So we were one of 13 in the nation there in 2018. And so New Tech provides relevant project-based learning and leadership in an atmosphere of trust, respect, and responsibility. That probably sounds like a canned statement, and that's because it's our mission statement. So it's actually what we say that we do, but we really try every day to live what we do as well. So project-based learning and leadership, and then trust, respect, and responsibility are what we expect from our students. So we really try to drive everything through those three pillars. So we focus on STEM and entrepreneurial leadership, and our students learn by doing. And so they're going to learn math and English and science and social studies just like at any high school, but it's done differently. They collaborate with their peers, and then they come together and present what they have found to their peers. So it's still high school, it's just a different way of doing high school. So we assess math, English, science, social studies, Spanish, art, engineering, and we grant all diploma types, so academic and technical honors. About a quarter of our students will graduate with each of those diplomas separately, and several graduate with both, actually. We offer a lot of college credit classes. And really, one of the beauties of New Tech is because we're located just down this hallway. So we're in this building. We have about 250, 275 students. So we're a close-knit and small and caring school. And so, we aren't huge. We're just a small, close-knit family school. And really, my thought is that if we are so big that I don't know students by name, we're too big. So that's really kind of our focus here, so that they're comfortable and safe while they're here. And so we're a full-day high school in the EVSC, and so students who live in the districts, Bosse, Central, Harrison, North, and Wrights, they can attend New Tech for the full day. So they would not be a North student or a Wright student, but they would graduate with a New Tech diploma. And there's bus transportation, so if a person lives in Harrison's district, they can get a bus from from home to Harrison, and from Harrison to New Tech. And same thing for the other 4 high school districts. And then, even though junior and senior year seems a long way away for 8th graders who are in the class of 2024, it will be here before you know it. And so all of our juniors and seniors are students either at the Career and Tech Center, which we're actually sitting in, or our Entrepreneurial Academy. And that's where we focus on marketing and personal finance and accounting and entrepreneurship. So those are the electives that our juniors and seniors take. So our students learn by solving authentic real-world problems. And we'll talk about that here just in a second, about some of those authentic real-world things. No more open your book to page 58. Now it's open your laptop. We don't have textbooks, so open your laptop and get on Echo, which is our learning management platform. And anytime a student goes into high school, you hope that they are gaining knowledge and that they're thinking. So of course, that's what school's about. So we champion knowledge and thinking. But even beyond that, as our students are presenting their projects, they build oral communication skills. As they are writing and collaborating, they're building written communication. As they're working in a group, they're building collaboration. And then agency is when the PowerPoint doesn't work, or we had our science fair last week and a student actually said to me, my kitten ate my science fair project. Not sure how that's possible, but he said it happened. So how do you respond to a setback like that? That's agency. So these are our school-wide learning outcomes, and students are actually graded on all 5 of those. And so some relevant learning opportunities. Every year we have a Hoosier Veterans Consortium, and that is where our English 9, freshman English, and U.S. history class, they're taught together. And as they get to the World War II and Korea and Vietnam and the wars afterwards, as they get to that content in social studies, then they interview veterans who served in those wars. So the top picture, I think, captures it all. You have 2 of our sophomores there with a computer, so that you're capturing the technology. They're interviewing a World War II veteran. And so that gives you an idea of some of the relevant learning that we do. And then each group comes up and introduces their veteran. And that kind of gives you an idea of the scope. We had 13 World War II veterans in this room back in March. So that is pretty amazing, considering the youngest ones are, in their early 90s. So that's just an example of the relevant learning we do. We're building, our mascot is the Thunderbolt, so we're building a 3rd scale model of a Thunderbolt. And then we're building a dollhouse, which seems a little strange for a high school to build a dollhouse. But the long story short of that is that in the mid-1930s, a gentleman by the name of Wes Peters, he was from Evansville, and he became Frank Lloyd Wright's number 2 assistant, or his main assistant, number 2 person. But again, long story short, Wes Peters fell in love with Frank Lloyd Wright's daughter. Frank Lloyd Wright didn't approve, and so they moved back to Evansville for a couple of years in the mid-30s. And so to make a living, Wes Peters and Svetlana, who was the daughter, designed dollhouses. And so actually these designs influenced Frank Lloyd Wright, which is, you would think it would be the other way around, but Wes Peters' designs influenced Wright. And so he had plans for those, and blueprints, but all the dollhouses, there aren't any more left in the world. So a couple of years ago, someone from Indiana Historic Landmarks came to us and said, we have the blueprints, or we don't even have blueprints, we just have a picture. Can you make us a dollhouse? And so we took the picture, put it into our engineering inventor program, and came up with the blueprints, and then built the house. And so this is sort of like in the middle of the process, and then in the middle there is the almost finished dollhouse. It's actually sitting at the Evansville Museum. There's an exhibit of Wes Peters down there. And so that's the kind of relevant learning, that it's not just textbook learning, but it's actually working on a project. And it's even gotten to the point where they're saying, well, the floor in the actual house was red, so we need you to find the right paint color of red. That's real life. That's not made up. They want it to the right specifications. So our outcomes, we've had 6 graduating classes with 90% or higher graduation rate. Our seniors last year earned nearly $2 million in scholarship offers. And extracurriculars that we have some of your typical extracurriculars like student council, Spanish club, art club, theater, but we have some other unique ones. Archery is huge in southwestern Indiana, and so we have an archery team. And also First Robotics is getting started in this area, and we have a team there. Teen Power, Model Building, and Chess Club are all new. And there's one over there that says fill in the blank, because I challenge our students at the beginning of the year, if you don't see an extracurricular that you are interested in, find a teacher and create one. So this year, that's how Teen Power and Model Building and Chess Club came into being. And Ultimate Frisbee was that way 2 years ago as well. So we really try to drive that to students' interests. Also athletics and band. Currently we have somebody on Central's volleyball team, on North's JV soccer team. On Central's JV soccer team, they actually played each other Monday night. And then we actually have 9 students who are new tech students who are participating in marching band at 4 of the different high schools. So they're friendly Monday through Friday, but then when they get out on the competition field, they're competitors. But that just goes to show that a student can participate in some other extracurriculars we're not big enough to have a basketball team or a marching band or a volleyball team, but students can still participate those from their district high school. So here's archery. We've been to state, we've been to nationals, and this past summer, actually, the team qualified for the World Archery Competition in Nashville. So kind of gives you an idea of our archery team. First, robotics. It is, of course, a STEM, like an engineering and technology-driven activity, but we also need students to do a business plan and to take pictures and to scout out other teams. So there's, at one point last year, we had 10% of our entire school was on our first robotics team. So that kind of goes to show how much that was going. I mentioned science fair, and these freshmen here just survived science fair last week. Isaac is a pro at that. He's a senior, so he's done 3 science fair projects and gets. And Haley has 2, even as a freshman. Wow.
Yeah, I did it in middle school.
That's impressive. So all of our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors do a science fair project. And so last year at USI, we had 8 winners, 3 qualified for the state science fair, and then Mackenzie Hunt placed 4th in the world in engineering. And so that was at the International Science Fair. So Mackenzie's in the picture of the Indiana contingent that went to Phoenix. And here Mackenzie was at state. Here she was at the International Science Fair. And there she is asking a question of Nobel laureate scientists. So those are the kinds of opportunities that you can get by coming to New Tech. And we have a STEM Fest every year. Our entrepreneurial students do the United Way Day of Caring, art show, CMO for the Da Vinci Project. And so it also just kind of gives you an idea of students. We have students who are in the Changemaker Challenge. Peyton in the middle was the top radio broadcasting student in the state of Indiana last year. And then Ethan on the far right was a Lilly Scholar and National Merit Scholar, and then also that was a picture in Indianapolis from the Academic All-Stars. So some of our students doing some really cool things. We had 6 of our students went to Philmont for Boy Scouts. And so it's interesting that they were there at different times, but that's 3 of them there. The WNIN Kids Fest, we took a group of students there and did some STEM outreach. And the picture at the top left is a cool picture because the student on the right is a senior in our Entrepreneurial Academy, and they were doing job interview practice. The gentleman on the left is a graduate from our very first graduating class. And so it was very cool for him to come back home, and he's currently in HR at Berry Global. And so he came back home to do mock interviews with our Business Academy students. So just kind of a neat thing kind of coming full circle that way. And so next steps are something we talk about in New Tech world a lot, like what are your next steps? What are you gonna do next? So we encourage you to come to our 9th grade roundup, and that we have 2 of them, they're identical. So unless you just really wanna come to both of them, you just need to come to one. But Thursday, October 24th and Tuesday, November 19th, both at 6:30 in this very room. And then also check out our website. We also encourage students to schedule a tour. If you would like to come in and just talk about New Tech, I would be glad to do that. And also a shadow day. So that is where you can call our office and set up a day to shadow to spend a day with one of our freshmen. Good chance it's probably a freshman who's sitting right here. And they literally, I mean, they've been here for 8 weeks. And, you know, we're already now saying, show an interested 8th grader, you know, New Tech. So that, and we don't do anything special. It's just, we don't have any special shadow days like, oh, do things differently. Nope. We want you to see real life New Tech. And then our application, that's a really long address. And by the time the roundup comes along, we'll have a shorter address. But the deadline for that is December 20th. So you just want to make sure to get that application in. Connect with us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And then you can reach out to us with any questions. And just like in the first session, I failed to even introduce myself, but I'm Chris Gibson. I'm the principal. And you can reach out to by email or by phone. And high school is a big decision. So there's no wrong question to ask. And you are doing a great service by being here tonight to see what options are out there. So any question you have, call me, email me. come to the open houses, ask these guys for any kind of questions that you may have. So thank you so much.